everyone, this is Mindy Eggen for Honeybee Stamps, and in today's video I'm going to show you a really quick way to use embossing folders. I will be using the Fall Leaves embossing folder from Honeybee Stamps. I went ahead and ran that through my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cut machine to create this amazing detail. Now I am using Hammermill cardstock, and I'm going to start by ink blending my card. Now sometimes I will start with the ink blending and then run it through with the embossing folder. In this case, I did the embossing first and then I'm coming in with the ink blending. Of course, I'm going to be using some beautiful bold colors in kind of a fall palette. I started off with a yellow down at the bottom, coming in with kind of this mid-tone orange, and then I'm going to come in at the very top with more of this darker orange, almost kind of a reddish orange. Now, what's going to happen is that with the pressure that I'm applying using a flat blending brush, it is going to hit both the kind of debossed areas and the embossed areas, but it's going to really pick up ink on those areas that are more embossed. So I'm getting color all over, but it's going to stand out just a little bit more on the embossed areas. Now, when I take some of that darker color and go towards the bottom and just go a little bit light-handed, it's going to just kind of graze over the embossed areas. So I still have yellow in the background, but it's going to have kind of that more reddish orange sitting on the top. It's a beautiful, beautiful look that you can use and create cards quickly using the embossing folders. Now, this video and this card does not take a long time to create, but I think the impact of it and this technique is amazing. I took my card over to a box that I'm going to add some splatters to, so the box is catching my splatters. And to do that, I'm using Perfect Pearls in gold and white. They've kind of been sitting on my desk for the last few cards, and I thought they made a great addition to this background, especially that gold. It really just ties in beautifully with these fall colors. I'm going to be using a sentiment off of the Be Still stamp set. I'm just going to stamp this in white or on white cardstock using the Intense Black ink, and then I will use the coordinating die to die cut it out. I will also cut out about 2 or 3 more of those just to be able to layer the sentiment together. Off screen, I went ahead and die cut out the maple leaf. Now this one has been out for quite a while, but I thought it paired perfectly with my background. So I die cut the kind of backer panel from white and the top layer from a matte gold cardstock, so really shiny gold cardstock. I layered my sentiment together using my liquid glue and my tweezers. And then for the detail area of the leaf, on the back of that, I just added dots of glue kind of around the edges and then down the center. So once I adhere that together and just kind of carefully press down to make sure it lines up really good, I'm going to place something heavy on that and let that sit for a minute or so that I make sure everything is adhered down really well. To attach this to the front of my card project, I am going to add some thin foam squares behind that maple leaf, and I'm going to remove the backing of those foam squares and add this to the front of the card. Now for the sentiment, I built up the dimension with cardstock, so I don't need to add any foam squares to that. It is going to overlap my stem just a little bit, so there will be just a small bump there. I don't think it's really that noticeable though, unless you're the person putting the card together. So I added liquid glue to that, put something heavy on there, and let that sit. And that is going to finish off my card. Like I said, really quick and easy, but I think it has a huge impact, and embossing folders are just so versatile. You can do so many things with. Plus, it was really fun to go back into my stash and use something that was already released. So I've had this maple leaf for a while, and it just fit perfectly with this background. Hope you enjoyed this quick technique. Thanks so much for joining.